Steven Spielberg, I find quite confused in his recollection of me.
Whoa. This story definitely takes you down a wild rabbit hole full of explosive allegations, rumors, and long-standing Hollywood feuds. And it all centers around the unlikely pairing of Julia Roberts and Steven Spielberg, two Hollywood titans who have been at odds for decades. The Hollywood feud that never fizzled out. The feud between Roberts and Spielberg reportedly began on the set of Hook, the 1991 Peter Pan-themed movie where Roberts played Tinker Bell. At the time, Spielberg publicly criticized Roberts, calling her behavior unprofessional. He hinted that personal drama in her life, specifically her troubled relationship with actor Kiefer Sutherland, spilled over into her work on set. Imagine this. A young Julia Roberts at the peak of her career, dealing with a very public engagement and heartbreak, only to have Spielberg seemingly kick her while she was down. Talk about adding fuel to the fire. Roberts was devastated by Spielberg's comments and felt betrayed. She thought they had built a rapport on set, and when she heard Spielberg describe their working relationship in less than flattering terms, she fired back in interviews, labeling him a turncoat. Since then, there's been no love lost between them, with each occasionally making snide remarks about the other over the years. You know Hollywood. It's all about smiles in front of the camera and sharp barbs behind it. The Epstein connection, Spielberg's name in the crosshairs. Now, let's fast forward to present-day Hollywood, where names like Jeffrey Epstein and Harvey Weinstein have become synonymous with scandal, and Steven Spielberg, one of the most beloved filmmakers of all time, finds his name dragged into the muck. With Diddy currently facing legal trouble and rumors swirling around multiple big names linked to Epstein's infamous list, Spielberg is suddenly in the hot seat. Roberts' recent comments have only added fuel to the speculation. Fans and conspiracy theorists alike have been poring over documents, trying to connect the dots, and the internet has been abuzz with questions. Could Spielberg, the mastermind behind some of the most beloved films of all time, be involved in something darker? Roberts didn't hold back when asked about Spielberg's potential connection to Epstein's infamous Black Book. She hinted at Spielberg's possible involvement in creepy passions, and fans have been going wild ever since. Though it's hard to pin down exactly what Roberts knows, her statement has raised eyebrows, especially given her long history with Spielberg. Could it be that the old feud is flaring up again? Or does she know something the rest of us don't? Either way, it's caused quite the stir. But wait, there's more. You've probably heard whispers about some unsettling conversations between Spielberg and his longtime collaborator George Lucas during the early days of Indiana Jones pre-production. In particular, there's that infamous brainstorming session where they discuss the character of Marion Ravenwood, played by Karen Allen. You might remember her as Indy's tough-as-nails love interest. But what many fans don't know is that early drafts of the script explored a far more disturbing backstory for Marion. The resurfaced transcripts reveal that Lucas and Spielberg toyed with the idea of Marion having been as young as 11 or 12 when she and Indy first became romantically involved. In fact, in one particularly troubling exchange, Lucas suggests that Marion had a past fling with Indy when she was still a child. Spielberg, to his credit, did express some discomfort with making her too young, but they eventually settled on Marion being around 15 at the time of their relationship. For fans of the Indiana Jones franchise, this was a tough pill to swallow. The thought that such a beloved character's backstory could have been so problematic is disturbing, to say the least. And it's led some people to speculate that perhaps Spielberg's willingness to entertain these ideas speaks to something deeper. Add to that his connections with Roman Polanski, who has been a fugitive ever since fleeing the U.S. after pleading guilty to unlawful intercourse with a minor. And suddenly, people are starting to look at Spielberg in a whole new light. The Ariana Richards allegations. If the Indiana Jones revelations weren't enough to make you side-eye Spielberg, then the rumors surrounding his behavior during Jurassic Park may push you over the edge. Word has it that Spielberg allegedly crossed some lines with young actress Ariana Richards, who played Lex in the 1993 blockbuster. While the details are murky, sources claim that Spielberg isolated Richards from her caregiver during the filming process, under the pretext of going over lines. What began as innocent coaching allegedly devolved into a series of uncomfortable interactions that left Richards traumatized. Though Richards has mostly remained silent on her experience, it's widely known that she left acting shortly after the Jurassic Park sequel and has since pursued a quieter life as a painter. The actress has been in therapy for years, working through the emotional aftermath of her time in Hollywood, and there's little doubt that her experience on Spielberg's set may have contributed to her decision to walk away from the industry altogether. Hollywood's dark underbelly. Of course, Spielberg isn't the first, nor is he likely to be the last Hollywood figure to face such accusations. The entertainment industry has long been riddled with allegations of abuse, misconduct, and cover-ups. From Roman Polanski's notorious rape case to more recent revelations about Harvey Weinstein, it seems the darker side of Hollywood is finally being exposed. And yet, there's still an alarming trend of powerful men evading justice. Take Thandie Newton, for example, who has spoken out about her traumatic experience with predatory directors as a young actress. The casting couch culture was rampant, and for many actresses, it became nearly impossible to navigate their careers without encountering inappropriate behavior. Newton's story echoes those of countless women who have been objectified, mistreated, and traumatized by industry gatekeepers. Newton's revelations about her experiences and how they derailed her emotionally and psychologically only highlight the need for systemic change in Hollywood. If Spielberg is indeed guilty of similar behavior, it would certainly be a blow to his legacy. But more importantly, it would underscore just how deeply ingrained these problems are in the film industry. Final thoughts. A scandal too big to ignore? Whether Spielberg will ever face consequences remains to be seen, but there's no denying that Julia Roberts' latest comments have reopened old wounds and thrown gasoline on a fire that's been smoldering for decades. As more names from Epstein's list come to light, and as Hollywood continues to reckon with its toxic history, it feels like only a matter of time before more details emerge. Until then, fans are left to wonder, is Spielberg just another victim of Hollywood's rumor mill? Or is there something far more sinister lurking beneath his celebrated career? And there you have it, folks. What a whirlwind of Hollywood drama, long-standing feuds, and disturbing allegations. From Julia Roberts reigniting her beef with Steven Spielberg to the shocking rumors connecting some of the industry's biggest names to dark secrets, this story just keeps unraveling. Whether you believe there's something more going on or think it's all just Hollywood gossip, one thing's for sure. There's never a dull moment in Tinseltown. We'll be keeping a close eye on any new developments, so make sure to hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you don't miss a single update. If you enjoyed this deep dive into the darker side of Hollywood, smash that like button and let us know in the comments what you think. Do you believe these rumors hold any truth, or is it all just speculation? Before we wrap things up, remember that Hollywood is a place where power and influence often keep the most scandalous secrets buried. But with voices like Julia Roberts and other insiders speaking out, more cracks are starting to show in the industry's perfect facade. Could this be the beginning of even more revelations about the untouchable figures in Hollywood? Only time will tell. Thanks for watching, and as always, stay curious, stay informed, and we'll catch you in the next video.